Welcome to Medina Lake Thousand Trails RV Campground. Get ready for the good and the bad of this park. There's actually a lot more bad than good. We have hit a dud here in Texas. Here we go. If you are new to the channel, thank you so much for visiting, and I invite you to hit that subscribe button down below and ring that notification bell for future videos. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. And everybody, please hit that like button to help this video get seen. Stick around to see why we think this is the worst thousand trails that we visited in Texas, and let us know what you think below. I'll be interested in getting your feedback on if you agree or disagree, and if you have been here, what you thought about this park when you visited. All right guys, here we go. Let's get this tour going. This campground is located about 45 minutes northwest of San Antonio and about 30 minutes from I-10 in several directions. It is also located about 30 minutes from Bandera, which is considered the first cowboy town and is a great place to visit while in the area. As you can see from the information on the screen, this park is open year-round. There is a total of 387 sites, sort of. We will discuss more of that later. The checkout time is at 11 a.m. and the check-in time is at noon. Of course, always remember to call the ranger station for any assistance, as the Florida number will not be any help and will just create frustration for you. So when you first pull up to the park, you're going to come to this stop sign right here, and you will see this gate that's right here in front of us, and what you're going to do is turn left, and this here is the main office area. And as you can see, pretty much no matter whatever rig you got, you're going to have plenty of room. You can also disconnect down here in this parking lot, which is very helpful. But this is where you're going to go check in, and be sure to keep this in mind. You are actually not allowed in the building unless you work here, of course. This is the only place you will ever see the workers here. So once you check in, you will never see workers again. We've seen them twice since we have been at our site, and they came to fix busted water lines after several hours of them leaking. But just keep that in mind. The office staff here does not come out into the park, so any questions you have, ask first. They're going to give you a paper pass that will open this gate up for you, so you can get in daily, or as long as your visit's here. It'll work for your whole visit, but as long as you need to get in while you're here, that'll get you in and out of this gate. And that is how you check in and get in, and then you will go pick your own site. This is a first come first served place, so it's just kind of find where you can fit in and get there. So they do have a propane fill station, but for whatever reason, for several months now, they do not have anybody here certified to actually fill propane tanks. So if you need propane, get it before you come, because you can't get it here. Apparently nobody here can come out of the office long enough to get certified. They do have 2 dump stations here, and there are several sites that do not have any sewer, so that is something to keep in mind if you do get a site like that and you need it. This is actually up here towards the front of the park, so this park is broke up into 2 sections, with one section being way back, and it's a pretty long haul to haul a tote or to pull your RV back up here, so just something to keep in mind, but they do have it. This is one of the historical houses that was originally on the property. The park says they are going to restore it, and I do think that's a cool concept, but if you're here visiting, this house is way too far gone. You will see that it's eat up with termites and damage. There's no restoration that's going to happen here. Not to mention, a Thousand Trails just isn't going to dump money into something like that. If they're going to dump money, they need to dump it into fixing up this park, because it is falling apart as well. This house really represents the state of the park too. So as you can see here, the pool is closed, and it has been closed for some time now, and the reason that it is closed is that it is also tore up. So this is another amenity that is no longer working here. The pool is leaking, and there is no timeline on getting it fixed. So there's another strike on this park, including the hot tub that you see back there as well. It is also tore up. So as you can see, they do have a little playground here for the kids. It's got a tire swing, a slide, some stuff they can climb on. That is very cool. So just wanted to show that. All right, and here's the laundromat that they have. As you can see, it is $1.50 to dry, and we got washers here, and it is $1.75 to wash, so pretty reasonably priced. So they do have an okay full basketball court, as you can see there. The goals, the rims look nice, so can't complain about that. A little bit of busted concrete, but not too bad on that. Okay, so here's one of the other things worth noting here. You got these sites that the boxes, the power boxes, are painted red, and anybody who's been here knows exactly what that is. And as you can see, there's a line. Well, you can't see through the trees, but there is 4 more down that way, and there's 3 more down that way, and this is just one section of them. But what this means is they say that the power on these do not work, and you can see this is a full hookup site, but they say that the power does not work, and really what is going on is the power grid here is not very good, and it cannot support if everybody's hooked into all these bigger sites. So to do that, they've just started shutting down sites instead of fixing the power grid. So here you get a little bit more of a view. You can see a couple of more, but it's just really sad. And that's where I say, instead of restoring the house, they need to start fixing up all these sites, because this park could be a really nice park, but it has been heavily mistreated. And they do have tons of walking trails here, so you can see the sign there, and you can kind of see the trail going down. But the one thing I will say is, again, the trails have not been well taken care of. They are overgrown, and some are just falling apart, so check them out, but check them out with caution. So here you can see our site, and I will say it is a pretty good size site. So here is a view down the door side, and here is a view down the driver's side, and you can see we're on full hookups. We do have power, we have water, we have sewer. We are on 30 amp power. The one thing I will say is here they do charge a $3 per day up fee, and there was no way in hell I was paying extra money to stay at this park. So we're on 30 amp, and we're using our solar and our batteries to assist when we need to run 2 ACs, which for a lot of this day hasn't been the case. And then one of the other things I will mention too is, when you're at this park, you want to be careful, because there are true buddy sites here. So that's where your door faces your neighbor's door, and you're constantly coming out on each other. We did have neighbors here for a little while. They were a good family, so it worked out well for us. But if you got neighbors that you didn't care for, or they didn't care for you, that could get ugly. And I will walk you around to the back of the RV, kind of show you the space in the back, and we will also talk about Wi-Fi. So the Wi-Fi here, again, is truly site by site. So as you can see, I do have my booster set up. And with the booster, we're getting about 2 to 3 bars. Without the booster, you don't get much. But there are sites here that you don't need a booster, and you can get a ton of good internet. So it's one of those things to just check and make sure you're getting the internet that you need at the site that you're at. But you do get a picnic table, a fire ring. So on that stuff, pretty well set up. I want to touch on the Wi-Fi just a little bit. With Verizon here, we got absolutely nothing. So that is something to keep in mind. It may work for you. For us, it did not work. I have not tested it at the other sites. Like I said, this is a site-by-site park. With AT&T, without our booster, we were getting between 3 and 5 meg, and with our booster, now we're getting about 20 to 25 meg. So we're able to do everything we need to. I'm able to work, which is important to us. That's the key thing. And I'm able to do all my YouTube stuff that I need to. So that is something to keep in mind. I do think a booster is almost a must-have here of some sort. So here are the bathhouses, and right now we can't go in them because due to the cold that they just had here, there is some damage inside. So again, not anything I'm gonna hold against them. Nobody can help what nature does. But inside you do have a couple of shower stalls. You have a couple of toilets in the men's room. You have a couple of urinals. They are curtain showers, so they're not doored or anything like that. But overall decent bathrooms. They get the job done if you need them. So here is the clubhouse and activity center, and it is currently closed, but you can come here and use the Wi-Fi by setting outside. And they do have a bunch of other stuff outside here that we will walk through as well. So over here they have some volleyball. It's like a sand volleyball court, which is pretty nice. They do have some more play areas over here. So you got little teeter-totter stuff. You got swings over here. They got frisbee golf going on. And up here, of course, you got a slide right there. And up here is your horseshoe pits. So here is your horseshoe pits. Not in the best of shape, but better than having nothing. So here is their mini golf course, and it actually does look to be pretty well maintained and in fairly decent shape. So this is one of the good things about the park, that they do tend to take care of their mini golf course, or it may be newer, I'm not exactly sure. But I know right now you can't rent clubs and balls from the clubhouse because it's shut down, but if you have your own, you are allowed to play. And here are some of the cabins that you can rent if you don't have an RV, or if you don't want to stay in your RV. And I do always think that that is a plus, to have cabins in the area, and they do look okay. So, you know, it's one of the features here I think that is pretty nice. And so here is the highlight of the park, which is Medina Lake itself. As you can see, the lake is down a lot right now, but it is very pretty down here, very peaceful. And if you like fishing, of course, you can get a lot of that in down here. Definitely, this is one of the things that you want to see if you're at the park, and definitely the highlight of the park, other than the deer, which we will talk about here in just a few minutes. So as you can see, they do have a dog park here. We've got a pretty dog playing in the park right now. It is rather small, so that is something to keep in mind, but at least they do have a dog park. A lot of parks do not, so take what you can get. This here is one of the things that so many people here love, and that's all the deer at this park that you can basically hand feed. They will pretty much come right up to you. Very sweet, nice deer, and that is one of the true highlights of this park. And I do gotta say, I love the deer. That is really, really neat. So I hope y'all have enjoyed this tour of Medina Lake. For us, this was the worst Thousand Trails park that we have stayed at since being in Texas. This is more of a pass-through park, definitely not a park that we would recommend long-term. It could be a great park, it just needs a little bit of TLC, which it obviously is not getting at this point. But overall, you know, if you're passing through and you need a place to crash, it's good for a couple of days. Again, the biggest thing I will say here is if you're going to be on their power, be sure to have a surge protector, because the power grid in this park is not good at all, and that could cause you a lot of problems. We do know of one couple here who their RV got zapped a little bit, and now it's costing them about $1,000 to $1,500 to fix it. So always have that surge protector. Always keep that in mind, especially in this park. All right, guys, thank you all so much for watching today, and we will talk to you later. Bye, y'all.